It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Welcome to the Women's Exclusive, a podcast where you will find the resources and fresh perspectives to take action and empower yourself to build a life you love in business and in motherhood. I am Laura Lee.
And I am Gabriella. We are two mompreneurs who love creating, scaling, and building our business while tackling the joys and craziness of motherhood. Join us in this journey in the Women's Exclusive.
Welcome to the Women's Exclusive. I'm Yauska.
And I am Laura Lee.
Yay! So today we're going to talk a little bit about something that's been going on in our lives. These last few weeks are going to be a little bit real, raw, just kind of like chatting back and forth. You know, the world's been so crazy with everything happening, and with COVID hitting, everybody's routines is all over the place. And I know here in Edmonton, the COVID cases are just going back up. So now we're in a second wave. And again, there's just so much uncertainty. And then for that while that we were basically quarantined, you know, Laura Lee and I, we were just working away and doing all these things that we wanted to do for the business. And then things opened up again. And then like I started working my sessions again. And then it was just like, oh my God, I have like no time. What is happening? I am still a little so disorganized and trying to get myself back into a routine of things, because you know, it was great having that time off because I got to focus on all the things that I've been wanting to do to build the business and to build new adventures with Laura Lee. But then once we started working again, it was all my time went back to my sessions, which is great. I loved seeing my clients again and all that. But then I felt I was like missing out on the business stuff. And then if I did the business stuff, I would miss out on the sessions. And then all this, everything that I planned, it's like great, literally working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then I have my little kids beside me being like, mom, come play. I'm like, damn it, I have so much stuff to do. And it just like, it was such a circle, and it was really, really hard to like put myself in that mindset again that I could do mom and I could do business owner. So it's taken quite a few months. And I know, Laura Lee, you know, you've dealt with my no communication and all that kind of stuff because it's just been so crazy. But I'm trying to get myself back into the routine and planning my schedule, because that's what really helped me before to be a mom and to be a business owner, is coming to come up with the schedule that I could have time for myself, for my kids, and then for the business.
Yeah. It's been crazy, and so much has happened for us personally. Actually, I want to go back. Like, so much has happened for the world, because we're all learning how to do things differently. And you and I both have kindergartners, right? He's in kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
So not only are we, me and you, Yauska, Gabriella, we're going through these transitions of business stuff, along with the world of dealing with the new ways of living with COVID. And then, and the up and down and the uncertainties. And then we're also, and so many other moms out there are dealing with kindergarten for the first time, which is a whole new experience for both our children and then parents as well. And, you know, and then I decided to throw in another mix of things and accept a position at a job and take that on too. So on top of everything that we do, I decided to do that too. And it's just been a really crazy ride and really, really interesting to maneuver everything. And so I thought it was a really important podcast.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're breaking up a lot.
Oh, really?
Like it lags. Like it lags, and then it'll like say the same word over and over.
Oh.
Yeah. Like it's lagging. Like it's like you're talking too fast for the microphone to hear.
Weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can try again. But yeah, it's like it's not sounding good. Yeah, like you just cut off there. I don't know if you said something.
Yeah, I said
Oh.
You like podcasting to see each other, right?
We can try without video.
Why don't we try no video and just see if that makes a difference?
Okay. What do I do?
Okay, so let me just talk and see, is it better or worse or the same?
It's only when like you talk, like when it's talking a lot, when you get into a lot of talking, I think it's just like it's like as if the computer's trying to hear you, but it's not registering to me.
I wonder are you picking up the background noise?
No, there's no background noise. It's literally you talking. It would like.
What? Okay. Because my son's banging around in there and was doing it right about the time that you said I was lagging. So I wonder if it's having a hard time picking up the different sounds.
Oh, maybe. Well, let's try. Let's just continue on and try.
Hold on a second. Lyndon? Lyndon? Come here. Were you just yelling out the window?
The guys are outside.
Okay. I'm podcasting, right? I'm doing something. So you can't do that. You need to be quiet and you need to stop banging things and running into your door or whatever you're doing. Okay? Can you just play quietly? I just need a few minutes. And if the guys are still outside, we'll go outside.
Good.
Thank you. Go back to your room and be quiet, please. His pad broke.
Oh.
So it's annoying.
Yeah, it's hard. I know. I have to like give the kids my iPad when I have to do something like super important.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do. I just bought him a brand new pad and it fucking broke already.
Oh no, how?
I don't know. It's a shit one from like Asia, and
I see, yeah.
The charging port broke, so
Mhm.
it's fine, except that it's not charging because the charging port is broken somehow, and it cost me $100, so I'll just have to buy another one, and I just won't buy a cheapo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks.
Is that like an iPad
Okay.
or different?
No, it's called a Vanquil.
Oh, never heard.
It's really great. It's an Android. It's really amazing.
Mhm.
But it's just that charging port, and the charging port's going to cost me anywhere from $70 to $200 to fucking fix.
Wow.
So, and I'm talking really fast right now on purpose. So is it catching everything?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay. I think it's the video. I think it can't support everything all the time. And I've heard other people on like Zoom calls, especially big Zoom calls, be like, everybody turn off their video, turn off their sound, otherwise it'll lag and it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try this and hopefully it's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I better this because I'm sitting closer to my phone, or I'm further away? What sounds better?
Either way, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to just start again, or do you want me to just pick up?
Just pick up.
Okay.
You were talking about kindergarten and you were doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'll just kind of start from where you left off.
Okay.
And I do it again because I don't know what was heard or what wasn't.
Okay.
Nor do I remember what I said.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's great. And and it's so important that we talk about all of these things going on in the world. And I think this episode's really important for us to share, because we've kind of gone off the radar. We haven't put out an episode in a while. And that's due to just so much going on. And we actually have a really exciting announcement at the end of this podcast, at the end of this episode, sorry. And as business owners, we've gone through so much during these times. And not only in business, personal life, dealing with COVID, but we also have 2 kindergarten students. So just starting. So that's like a whole new adventure as well, of learning how to, get ready and have
new routine in life, a new routine with everything.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and I know we're not alone with that. I mean, there's tons of people that are listening to us that I'm sure they have kindergarten students, or just even learning how to go back to school during COVID. Everyone's going to have their things that are going on. And I think a lot of people are learning how to think outside the box right now and come up with new ideas to create an income. And I think a lot more people are more open to home-based businesses of whatever type that is. And so I'm really excited that we're doing this episode so that we can really share our experiences and get real and raw, like you said, Gabriella, and share what's been kind of going on behind the scenes. And then, like I said, I'm really excited for our announcement that we have. So please stay tuned to the end of this episode so we can share that with you.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's going to be, I think it'll work a lot for us because we had a lot of expectations for ourselves to be able to put out these episodes and do all this stuff that we've been wanting to do. It worked great while we were in isolation or quarantine, because there's really nothing else that we really could do. But now with literally going back to work, and then other adventures that you're doing, and then GCP with me that's growing so like crazy, there hasn't been enough time. And I feel like I want to do this podcast for us to give our listeners the education, to be that support for them, and to have something to look forward to. But I didn't want it to turn into something that it was a chore or that we had to do. And I felt like the last few weeks or months since we've started working again, it's been really hard for me anyways to kind of get back into that mindset of like, I want to do this, but then it was just so much confliction, so much. I wasn't in that right space for me to be able to do this. So I really like the plan that we have come up with. And I really I don't want to stop this, because I feel like we have so much stuff that we can actually talk about and explore with our listeners, especially when it comes to, body image and confidence and, being a mom and a business owner, because I know for a fact that there's so many women who are struggling trying to figure out what it is that they want to do in their life, especially now, after, everybody's been laid off, and you have that time to kind of have a second chance at doing what you want to do. Like, do you want to continue being of course you're always going to be a mother, but do you want to be a stay-at-home mom, or do you want to start your own business? How do you do it all? And especially in this uncertainty of time, I feel now is like the perfect time to start, in a sense, in a way, an adventure, because knock on wood, it doesn't get any worse than this. So,
Well, unless the zombies start coming out.
Exactly. Vaccine comes, and then that's what's going to make zombies.
Yeah, exactly. You just, it's crazy. We're living in the middle of a movie right now.
Yes.
I just want to touch on a couple of things that you said quickly. First of all, time. I'm pretty sure I wrote a couple of articles about that. That we literally live in this world where we don't have enough time. And now the world has given us all this time. And so right now it is so important that we take advantage of it to really create a life that we want to live. And, you know, though you're super busy, I do give you massive props for that, because you are creating a world, your life that you want to live. And so am I. And living a life by design is so amazing. And it's what you and I both set out to do for GCP, when I started working with you, is create this amazing business that's running, and that's what's happening. So I'm really proud of you, first and foremost, for sticking to it, even though it's been hard. I know the ups and downs you've had, and then COVID obviously threw a massive wrench, but we went to work. I don't even know if we've said a ton about what we've done over the last few months, but you know, we set out to create these other amazing opportunities for ourselves, which include our social media agency, which also has now the membership program with it. And we have our podcast, obviously, which is being listened to in over 30 countries with the Divas That Care network, which is really amazing. And we also have our magazine that is a global magazine. Our contributors are global, our readers are global, and that is just so amazing. And so, you know, I think me and you both feel like sometimes that we get stuck, and there's so much that we have to do, and we get overwhelmed with all the things that we're doing and being moms. But in all honesty, we are moving forward in incredible ways with all the things that we're doing. And I feel like we both should be really proud. And I hope that everybody listening can understand and hear that what I'm trying to say is that they should be proud of the progress that they've made, even if they feel like it's very little. Even if they're a stay-at-home mom, because, you know, you're at home with your kid during this crazy time, be proud that you're making it through these situations, and understand that no matter what, you're going to be fine. And you're going to be good. You're going to make it through this. Whether you've lost your job, whether you're looking for a job, whether you're a stay-at-home mom and it got really hard, like, there's always a way. The law of opposites is going to come in, and when there's a down, there's an up. When there's an up, there's a down. It's the law. So, you know, just have faith in yourself. I got a little bit off track there. And there was something else that I wanted to talk to you as well. You said, you know, you didn't want this to be a chore. And it got really difficult for us to meet up and discuss, do these episodes during COVID there. And that's what we're creating, is a life that we can do these types of things, do the things that make us happy. And it doesn't have to involve money. It doesn't have to involve, you know, creating a bunch of money, though I'd love to see this monetized and, you know, go to charities. That's my kind of dream for this, is monetizing it and sending it to like Gems for Gems or something like that. Because we have our other avenues that we're working on. And I just feel so blessed that we could even consider doing something like that. And me and you actually haven't discussed this, so we need to have that discussion. but you know, that's what I would really like to see, and it not be a chore, and it just flows. Like, that's so important, to have it flow. And I was so inspired the other day, and I was like, we need to podcast, and we need to get another episode out and do this. Because I'm inspired right now, and I really want to talk about what it's been like to be a business owner and have all these things going on, and then starting kindergarten and dealing with school. And I did take a job position for 2 weeks that I decided it was better to keep focused on what we're doing. So I did let that go, and I'm really happy about that. And it's really important. Right after I decided to email my at the time boss, I opened up someone's story, and it was Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's amazing. And he was talking about, if it doesn't fit the plan, let it go. And I was like, oh, that's my sign. I did the right thing. If it doesn't fit the plan, let it go. And it doesn't matter how good it looks. If it doesn't fit the plan, let it go. And it was just so amazing to hear that, and reassuring, like, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do something that makes you happy, not force it on you, because then it's just, one, it's not going to make you happy. Two, I feel like there's just going to be so much negativity around that, and then you don't want to living your life in that negative way, which then will bring in more negative energy, Yeah. So even now, the fact that you've let things go, or let that position go that you didn't even want to, I feel like things are going back into place, because it was so hard for you and I to connect, to actually do something. And then now it's like, and I'm not saying that it was because of your job or anything like that. Like, even myself, it's like, we had a little bit of a conversation. We talked about what was happening. I'm like, hey, let's work out a plan. For me, myself, let me try to schedule my routine up again so we could do this, because I really did miss doing these podcasts, getting into this new transition of being a mom that has a kid who's in kindergarten. So thank goodness, I don't know why or how, but the place that I live, the city that I live, their kindergarten is full time. So it's Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 3 every single day. So that gives me more time to actually work, to focus. And then when my son gets home, I'm done everything that I need to do, that I can actually focus on them. Because my issue was that I was just so overwhelmed with all the stuff that I had to do as a business owner, plus all the stuff that I had to do as a mom. I really didn't have time to be with them, and I felt like I was neglecting them, and that was really killing me inside. And I felt that all that negative energy, and then the world is like, well, you got negative energy, here's some more negativity coming your way. And I had a lot of reschedules, cancellations, a lot of just nothing was flowing, nothing was going right, until I said, okay, delete, as you used to say, Laurie. I need to do something about this. I have to stop thinking negatively. I have to start thinking positively. I have to be with my kids, pay that undivided attention to them, because they need it. They're young, and they're the most important part in my life above everything else. So how could I do this? So I've, transitioned into giving my, our new photographer, Christina. She is the lead photographer now in all of the majority of our boudoir sessions, because somebody needs to run the business part of it, which is me, obviously. So that has allowed me to really focus on the business, give my clients the experience that they need, and that they deserve from us. And as well as giving my kids exactly what they would need. So I'm so blessed to have this kind of fitting back into place. I'm not saying I'm never going to shoot again. I'm still shooting with Christina, of course, but it's giving me more time to build up the business, do the things that you and I've planned to do, that I've planned to do for GCP, and then for my kids as well. So things are going into place. I'm really excited, and I feel that negativity, that negative energy just flowing away. Literally, I don't know what it is, but I feel that that flow out and then more positive in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. I hope it makes sense to everyone listening. And and that means that that's alignment, at least for right now. And you're right. And that happened with me too. And I let go of I had a really big thought in my mind of what it was going to look like for me taking this position. And when I let go of that, the flow started coming, and I noticed, I literally was just talking about this morning with someone else. When my focus goes elsewhere, like that positive flow of things kind of stops a little bit. And it really takes its toll on, because my main focus is media exclusive right now. It takes its toll on that. So, I'm really hoping to see that turn around real quickly now that it's my main focus and goal again, and to see things change. We're going to be doing a 14-day challenge soon. On the 15th, we're going to start it, and I'm so excited. It's the first free challenge that I've ever put on, as far as, especially with our media exclusive business. And so I'm really excited to see that and see how that goes and see how many people join us. I feel like this podcast is probably going to be released after the 15th. So by the time you're listening, the challenge might even be over, or we'll be right in it. But I mean, it's so important to realize when things aren't lining up and things just aren't working.
Carrie, I just want to add something. For me, like, even just saying some of the stuff that I was just saying, it's like, oh, should I even say that? Like, people shouldn't know what's happening and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? This is so normal to go through these ups and downs, these lulls, and then go back into things. So if you're in that position as well, that you don't know what you want, or you don't know if this is the right path, or you're kind of like, things are going down, it's okay. Like, this is why we do these podcasts. This is why we want to be real with you, because we want to tell you that whatever position you are in right now, it's okay. Like, things will get better. You just need to, just have that faith and have that positive thinking that there's a reason things like this are happening, and that you just need to follow it, because there's, you might go into something way better. So I just wanted to say that I'm not scared. I know you're not scared as well, Laura-Lee, to talk about, some things that aren't going the way we planned. I wish that I could say, oh my God, we're so like amazing, we're doing all this stuff and it's awesome and there's nothing negative about it and we're making a whole lot of cash or whatever. But everybody who's a business owner, who's a mother, whatever it is, does go through these ups and downs. And it's so important to be okay with it and then move on from it. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, it's important. And that's like one of the biggest things that we wanted to do this podcast for, was to share with people that these things, and, this podcast is one of the biggest things that I think we're kind of dealing with right now that isn't going the way we wanted it to. The magazine is doing great, but that's a struggle too, to find the time to get everything done sometimes. And once it's done and it's out there, it's great and it's amazing, but it's still work and it's still something that takes a little bit more time than we bargained for. And same with the other businesses we do, right? And so that's why we're here. We wanted to make this podcast to share that and to share what it's like to be a mom and dealing with that. And you got really open and shared that you felt like you were neglecting your children. And on the flip side, I decided 3 years ago that I was going to make some sacrifices to ensure that my child had a good life in the future. And he's with me 24/7. So it didn't really feel like until school started, didn't feel like too much of a sacrifice, but I have taught him that I have to work sometimes. And that means at home with him. And that means that he needs to listen and give me the space that I need so that I don't have to go to a job and give up even more time. And so I've had those real conversations with him, and he's only 3, 4, 5 years old. But I do feel, and I've talked about this in previous episodes, I do feel like they understand, like their higher self will understand. I'm getting pretty woo-woo there, but for anyone that's listening that may not be into spiritual stuff, but when you really sit down, and by you, I mean anyone, that I'm using that generally, when you really sit down and talk to your kids, they will get it. You will reach a part of them, their subconscious. So I did decide, but now we're moving into this area for me and him where, because he's at school and away from me, I actually find it more important to like be done. So I've set up a time, you know, in the evenings between whenever I pick him up from after school care, which is between 4 and 5. That's me and him time. And the morning is me and him time. I don't look at my phone. We wake up, we have this beautiful routine. We wake up, we go, you hang out downstairs, meditate. That one's a little bit harder. So sometimes we watch a TV show together. And then breakfast and lunch, get lunch ready. And then we get dressed and we go to school, and it's a really peaceful, beautiful morning. And so before, I would have maybe lagged on that a bit and let work kind of run me a bit. But now that he's in school, I definitely feel the need and the want to make sure that I'm spending that extra time with him and making really special moments. So that's where I've gone from all in on business and making some sacrifices for us to now it's I've created this life. Me and you have created this business. What's the word I'm looking for? Business model, businesses with business models. And it's time to implement them, because, you know, you can continue doing the same thing. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be the right thing always. And that kind of ties back into what you were saying, like, you know, should I share this information and whatnot? But the truth is that for right now, maybe that's what you, Gabriella, maybe that's what you need to do just for right now to figure things out. And just because you're making a change in like who's doing the main shooting doesn't mean that has to be all the time.
That's right.
Doesn't mean it has to be forever. Me and you had a discussion recently about Media Exclusive and what was happening. And we're both open to what we decided as partners. But that doesn't mean that that's going to be set in stone forever.
Right.
And we can change that. And so having an open mind as a mom, like for you in your family, it's really important to you that you have your family time, and you felt like you were neglecting your children. For me, I made sacrifices. And I don't necessarily believe that you have to make sacrifices, but I made choices to push myself further so that he would have a different life, because it is just me. It's only me as a parent. And so I just don't have that support that some other people might have in their life. And so you do have to sometimes make choices and sacrifices, and for you, your children are the most important. So are mine. I think every parent out there, their children are the most important. And that's what drives them, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. So this is kind of what we wanted to talk about. Also, what you're going to see the change in the podcast. What are some new things that's happening? So Lauralee, do you want to share what's going on with this podcast that we're actually really excited for? And I think it's actually going to give you some more, like our listeners, it's going to give our listeners some more motivation, inspiration, because you are going to be listening from a few other sources who have different knowledges that we do.
Yeah, this is so exciting to me. So because time has, you know, sometimes gets away on us, and it can be challenging to get together to create these episodes. The first thing that we decided that we were going to do is we were going to start doing our maybe singles. And we've discussed this before we even started. And we decided to really focus on me and you being on a podcast together every day, every time we do one. But one of the changes that you're going to see is maybe some podcasts coming solo from Gabriella and from me, or maybe some interviews from Gabriella and maybe some of her clients or people that she's around and in person with, and same with me. And so that's one of the things that's going to happen. So there's going to be some solos or some solo interviews. And then we have 3 so far, amazing women that have different backgrounds in business and what they do, that are going to be coming on for a podcast takeover. So it's going to be the women's exclusive takeover. And they're going to do their own episodes. So we're going to have an interview with them. Either both Gabriella and I will be on the interview with them, or it'll be just one of us with them. Kind of opening it up for them and doing an introduction podcast. And then they're going to send us episodes as they have them, solos or interviews, which is really cool because they have different networks than we do. So they can bring different people to the table with different knowledge and inspiration, like Gabriella said. And so I'm so excited about that, because it's going to expand to so much more, and you guys are hopefully going to get so much more out of it, our listeners.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. These women, like you said, have different backgrounds. They do different things. They have different knowledge. And I think it'll touch a lot on different things that we as women, we as business women, we as moms, we go through. So I'm really excited for you guys to listen to their stories and their advice and inspiration, because it's going to really, I think it's going to be amazing.
I think so too. And I think we'll probably end up expanding one day and bringing on more people, but we definitely want to test it out first, see how it goes, see how you guys like it. So you'll have to let us know what your thoughts are and join in on the conversation. Something else that's kind of changed that we've promoted in the past was the women's exclusive group on Facebook. So that is kind of changed back to GCP's group. And so we have some things to kind of sort out. You're absolutely welcome to join the GCP group still, because the podcast will be posted in there and we will still talk about it. But let us know if you want your own private community. I think that's really important to get your viewpoints. Do you want a couple places to go? Do you want one place to go? Maybe you don't want a community at all and you just want to listen in. But we want to hear from you. So please let us know your thoughts. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, and let us know where you're listening from, because it's really exciting that this podcast is being listened to on the Divas That Care network in over 30 countries. So please let us know who you are and where you're from, because at this point, we don't really know who our audience is or where you guys are, and we want to know who you are. So please, please, please let us know.
Yes, so excited to be on the air, as you say, again. I'm honestly, it's making me happy kind of seeing us back into the routine of things again. I missed it. I missed your woo-woo. So, woo-woo, yep.
It sounds so dirty.
Oh my God, no, not like that. It's funny.
A lot of things have transitioned, and so don't for a second think that I haven't missed you and missed doing this too, because I have. Sure. And we used to talk every single day. Like, this is how much life has changed, guys. Like, me and Gabriella used to talk several times a day. Like, you couldn't even scroll our conversation on Facebook and find the thing that we talked about an hour ago. There's so much. And now it's not like that, because she's so busy and I'm busy, and it's okay. And it's okay. It's so okay. And I think that's really important for people to understand, is that it's okay, and it's not a bad thing to experience growth and change and even a little bit of separation sometimes. as long as you're doing you.
Mhm.
Like, do you and grow and be your best self. I know I'm experiencing changes amongst friendships, and sometimes it's hard, but sometimes like other personal friendships I'm kind of relating to, but I'm growing new ones too, and that's like really magical and amazing. But it's one of those things that, again, it doesn't have to be forever. Like, sometimes you just get on a different page than a relationship, whether that's a friendship, a business partnership, a relationship, romantic. But that doesn't mean it's gone forever. And sometimes I think we get really stuck on that. We get really stuck on, it doesn't look the same right now and my life is ending, but it's not like that. So hold on. And especially right now, I think so many people's lives have changed so much, and it feels they feel separated from their loved ones and their families and their friends, or stuck because you can't do too much, or scared. And just hang in there. You're not alone. And again, I think we've said this on previous podcasts, we're here for you. Like, reach out to us.
Yeah, that's right. We're here for you always and forever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think we could probably close this out.
Mhm.
We're excited to bring you guys the next episodes, which will be the interviews of our podcast takeover ladies. And so we'll announce them on the podcast, and we're so happy to have them. And we're so happy to have you listening to us.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
thank you. We
so much
appreciate you.
for following our journey as well.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.